100 kids living in Buffalo are going to be able to head to camp this summer, and it's all thanks to the generous community.
The Night of Champions drew in neighbors, local leaders, and famous athletes to help raise money for city kids at summer camp. When those kids get to camp, they'll be able to have unique experiences that they might not be able to see living in the city, like rock climbing, canoeing, even fishing.
Well, there's this camaraderie, and they come back every year, and we groom these kids, and they become junior chaperones, and then we have a scholarship program now, and once they go through it, we give them a scholarship to encourage them to go to college. There's a lot of kids that we brought up under our wings, and they kind of call us dad, or they have a good positive influence in their life, and that's kind of what we do. And basically, when I was a kid, Nick Bonifacio used to take me camping.
It's a great program, and money from the event will send the 100 Buffalo children to Camp Winona?
Camp Winona, yeah.
Okay, in Wyoming County.
I went to Camp Winona.
Did you really?
I did.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very fun. Shays has been busy lately now that Wicked is in town, and before Dorothy, there was Glinda and Elphaba. Well,
you might not know, their rivalry came after an unlikely friendship, and today I'm going to head to the show. I'm going to meet up with the cast. Ed's really jealous because I even get to take a ride in Glinda's ball. You're going to get a peek of how I did it tomorrow. Wicked, of course, in town until June 4th.
I saw it last Saturday, and Glinda, the character, the woman who plays Glinda, was phenomenal. You're going to have a great experience. She was so good. I'm so jealous. Not jealous of the weather, though, today here in Western New York.
No, not at all, man. It is not pretty outside. It is very wet. We're going to start this morning as we zeroed in, and I know we showed you the Skywatch before, but let's zero in and we'll show you one of the manhole covers. You can see that's kind of those are the raindrops. Why? Because we can, folks. We can zero in on the ground and show you the raindrops. But that tells a story right there. You walk out and you can see how fast those are hitting, and it's not just one or two, but you're going to get wet on the way in. Those are big drops, I tell you that. Here we go. There's more of them on the way, too. Look at it all come down. Springville, Dunkirk, Jamestown, name your town, and it's getting wet in Western New York today, and there's more of it just continuing to stream on in. Let's get into some of the particulars. This is some of the steadiest rain and heaviest rain now north of Middleport. That goes out over Lake Ontario and sets itself up there. Otherwise, we do have just a steady, we'll call it a light to moderate rain. Amherst, Cheektowaga, Lancaster, everybody's getting this. These are the windmills out here in Sheldon, but you can see all of this progressing back up in the Buffalo, and there's more of the yellow is embedded down here in Bradford along the 219, so this rain will slide right up on into the city of Buffalo. It all has its name on it here. 56, 57, everybody playing with about the same starting point this morning, just a couple degrees cooler, but nobody's going to call it cold, so it's cool and wet to start the day. Best we do is about 60. Now look at this. Most of this water falls between now and 3 p.m. and then it lightens up for the evening. I don't think anybody's going to get a softball game in, but at least as you're on the ride home, you won't have this stuff. Look at the yellows. Heaviest rain coming in through the mid-morning into the early afternoon. Southern tier sites, you had this start a little earlier, so your finish time will be a couple hours earlier than everybody else. We don't ever just shut it down, but we certainly do reduce it, and you can see while there will be a couple of isolated cells as we go to the evening hours, the coverage reduces significantly. The most of this water, most of the inch, is coming down between now and 3 p.m. Scattered showers on Friday, but the temperature is the same result. We take a bounce on Saturday. That has the best chance of being a decent day over the weekend. Sunday, still a lot of flip-flopping on here. There's probably going to be some rain, but it does not look like an all-day affair. So I think there's going to be some dry time on Sunday. Tomorrow should be the day where once we get rid of this weather system, the guidance will lock in on a solution for the weekend, and we'll provide that to you. Looking into next week, we cool back into the 60s there, guys.
All right, Andy, thank you. Hey, if you're a runner, you know part of the race is experiencing the sights and the sounds. Listen.
The flavor of the place, the color of the place.
So there's a device that's now going to help a blind man see what's around him while he's hitting the pavement.
That is awesome. That's coming up. Plus, how one man is helping preemies get the loving touch they need while they're waiting to leave the NICU. It's 5:21. You're watching 7 Eyewitness News.
It is 5:23 on your Thursday morning. Welcome back. A Colorado man running his third 10K this weekend, but this one he's going to be able to see for the first time in a way. Kevin Worley is blind. He usually runs with a guide. Well, this year he has special glasses that are outfitted with a camera. They connect to his cell phone app, and then there's an agent who verbalizes what the camera sees, so that way he can experience the color and the flair of the race.
She'll be able to say, oh, by the way, they're giving out bacon on the right side, or they're doing Jello shots on the left, and there's a slip and slide over there, and that crazy person is playing a guitar.
What kind of race is this?
I don't know, but I want
Jello shots? Well, Kevin says blind people don't get to experience those peripheral details that many runners take for granted as they're just running by.
How about this Colorado guy who has the coolest volunteer job out there, cuddling premature babies while they're in the NICU, and he's been doing it for more than 20 years. They're often isolated and hooked up to machines. His name is Bruce Erickson. He and other baby cuddlers give them warm and gentle touch that they need to thrive. But they do more than just hold the babies. They're also monitoring how they're doing.
I'm actually watching her skin, especially around her lips, to make certain that she doesn't turn towards the blue, make certain that she remains good saturation. I'm trying to pay attention to her muscle state.
Well, if you're interested in becoming a baby cuddler right here in Western New York, both Mercy Hospital and Sisters of Charity have volunteer baby cuddling programs.
That's a good job, huh? All right, this is a touching reunion between a man and his puppy, and it's going viral today. Shane Godfrey and his rescue dog, Willie, were inseparable, but then Godfrey got a bad case of the flu and had to be hospitalized. So he was gone. He lost 50 pounds and he grew a beard. Well, in the video, the owner, or the dog, doesn't recognize his owner, starts barking at him, stays away until Godfrey calls his name. But then, look what happens next. It's that one little sniff that let Willie know exactly who Godfrey was, and then, well, you can tell just how excited he is to see him. Dogs primarily use their scent to figure out who people are, and according to Animal Planet, the longer a dog's separated from its owner, then the happier it is to be reunited.
Look at how happy he is.
I know.
Oh, that's the best video of the morning.
So apprehensive at first.
Right?
And then, there you go.
Man's best friend.
Straight ahead, help for homeowners plagued with a tree-killing pest. One lawmaker proposing a solution for that damage left behind by the emerald ash borer.
Plus, saving lives one ambulance ride at a time. We're live in Amherst with a look at what it takes to work in emergency medical services. It's 5:26. You're watching 7 Eyewitness News on a Thursday. Bottom of the hour on a Thursday morning, another night of violence in Niagara Falls. This time we know why a man was shot. We'll take you to the scene straight ahead.
Flooding concerns across western New York. There's a warning in place right now for communities along the Lake Ontario shoreline, and homeowners near Ellicott Creek are working to address their problems that are perpetual in their backyard.
And there's plenty of water coming to western New York today. We've got 7 Super Doppler locked and loaded for your Thursday forecast live on the weather outside.
You're watching 7 Eyewitness News with Andy Parker, Katie Morse, Ed Dranch, and Autumn Lewandowski.
Good morning, everyone. It's 5:30 on a Thursday. Thanks for being with us here on 7 Eyewitness News. We just saw that dog reunited with his owner, and how cute was that? Adorable. But we're also talking about dogs and a dangerous infection.
Yeah, apparently it has passed from dog to human. So we're going to tell you how you can protect your family from what's called leptobacteria. Apparently it's really common in western New York. We're talking about that straight ahead.
Leptospirosis, one of those vaccines dogs often get. It's 5:31. Let's get you out the door with the most accurate forecast. Andy Parker, locked and loaded this morning.
I mean, it is not umbrella optional today. It is coming down out here. A wise weatherman once said, it's going to rain. And that's what it's doing today. Let's start you off this morning. Hey, that Lakeshore flood warning, it's because of the elevated levels of Lake Ontario, which I'm sure everybody by now has heard about. And they're not going away anytime soon. Now, you combine that with some gusty winds out of the northeast. Southerly winds don't bother you at all, but when you start to see the winds out of this direction, you can see most of western New York is going to stay around 5-10 mile an hour winds today. Let's go to the shoreline. That's not the case for Olcott. Wilson, you've got Somerset, all the way over to Yates and Youngstown. Look at the wind speeds today. You ratchet them up to 20 miles an hour, and it's coming out of the northeast. What that's going to do is kick up the waves on Lake Ontario right on through the afternoon, and that's going to cause for additional shoreline erosion, and that's the big concern along there with those elevated water levels. That does not combine to mean good things, and that's going to last right on into the wee hours of Friday morning before the wind speeds slow down. And the rain, that's not slowing down at all. We've been talking about it today. This is not a day where you say, well, I'll just wait it out at the supermarket. No, just bring the umbrella. It is something that's going to continue right on into the early afternoon. This evening will be the time that it lightens up, and what you see is what you get. It's going to be a steady rain across western New York today, all the way through the north towns. What are we getting as far as the sky conditions today? It's going to be a cloudy one. We're looking at daytime temperatures right around 60 degrees, and that's your sky. Mother Nature is trying to brighten things up. I mean, sunrise is about 10 minutes away, and it's still rather dark outside. We're going to take a look at the rest of western New York and find some dry skies in the 7-day. That includes the weekend. It's a 3-day weekend, guys. Did you hear that? Back indoors.
We sure did, Andy. Thank you. 5:33, no holiday for these folks in Niagara and Orleans counties, though. They're dealing with rising water levels. Sandbags have been lining the area, but they've been no match for the recent flooding around Lake Ontario, and it's causing some major damage there. Fort Niagara has been quickly losing more shoreline by the day. The Army Corps of Engineers has confirmed the fort's seawall has been damaged. These flooding issues are spanning all the way to Lancaster.
Yeah, neighbors who are living along Ellicott Creek say they're regularly bailing out their basements because of this flooding. Now they're teaming up with the state and federal leaders, trying to figure out a plan to stop the rising water. Some options include replacing a bridge where sediments back up, that's right near Stony Road, or removing 2 log jams in the creek.
It may not eliminate all flooding in the future, but there's a very good chance that these are going to reduce the frequency and the volume of flooding once they are addressed.
Now, Erie County Legislature may vote on replacing the Stony Road Bridge as soon as next week, but it's not clear if neighbors would see that replacement anytime this year.
Okay, 5:33 on a Thursday morning, and this morning Niagara Falls police are looking for the person who shot a man after an argument late last night. Some new pictures coming into the live desk this morning from Rob Bennett. Police say the man was shot on 19th and Ashland about 9:15 last night. You can see police officers here with their flashlights looking for evidence. He was shot in the leg and went to Niagara Falls Memorial Hospital on his own. The man was not seriously hurt, but police say the investigation is ongoing this morning. Take you live right now to Berlin, Germany, where former President Obama is now meeting with German Chancellor Angela Merkel. The former president is promoting his new program aimed at encouraging young people to create change. We heard him say just a moment ago that it's the job of governments to express solidarity and comfort to folks who need, but act within its resources, Katie.
Now, meantime, back at home, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is working to secure 50 votes in favor of the Republican health care bill. This comes after a nonpartisan agency said the bill would cause millions of Americans to lose their coverage. The Congressional Budget Agency says 23 million Americans will be out of a plan by 2026, but this law would reduce national deficit by $119 billion. So Republicans are working to discredit the CBO. They say it's been inaccurate in the past.
5:35 happening today, a pesky beetle that's been destroying trees around New York State. Now lawmakers are looking to make financial relief for homeowners a priority. Senator Tim Kennedy is pushing for legislation to help property owners with expensive tree removal costs, considering more than 24 million ash trees around Erie County are in danger of being destroyed by that ash borer beetle.
So crazy when you see the tree with their little path through it. Ruining a lot of trees.
Real dangerous.
Yeah. All right, if you see an EMT today, make sure you thank them for their service.
It's National EMS Month, and we're celebrating the folks who save lives during medical emergencies. 7 Eyewitness News reporter Liz Lewin live for us in Amherst this morning with Twin City Ambulance with a look at what it takes to be a part of the job. Liz?
Well, Ed and Katie, we showed you the outside of these brand new ambulances here at Twin City, and boy, have I learned so much. I'm here with Tom Eggert. He's a supervisor. Bringing the ER to the community is essentially how you wrap this up, but particularly in these are a lot of new features that keep you safe. Let's talk about those, Tom.
Well, right here, what I'm wearing is called a 4-point harness seatbelt here, and what this does is allows us to treat the patient, keep us safe, and be able to kind of reach around the ambulance and give us the tools that we need to help the patient here. So, for example, if I need to reach for something out of the cabinet, I no longer have to undo this seatbelt, stand up as a free object, and this allows me to kind of stay safe, and if anything happens, we can
You're ready.
get through it.
I mean, you described the patient really, obviously, under the circumstances, I mean, you know, as the safest. I feel completely strapped in here, but talk about the importance of keeping you safe. You know, there's a paramedic and an EMT in here at all times. Why are these upgrades so important to do your job well?
Well, it's important to keep us safe. You know, we need to be able to focus on treating the patient and not have to worry about or you know, something bad happening to us. So with this technology, it allows us to kind of hook everything up and focus on what we need to do.
All right. Well, tune into Facebook Live because we're going to go behind the scenes and answer a lot more questions that I'm sure many of you have out there. But our morning continues here at Twin City Ambulance as we celebrate and recognize EMS Week 2017. For now, we are live in Amherst. Back to you guys.
You can see there's a lot of stuff overlays in the racks and the cabinets there, and you can imagine that those paramedics and the EMTs there are constantly working to make sure the patient is safe, so they've got to stay safe themselves.
Absolutely. All right, we're getting you safe out on the roads this morning, too. Autumn Lewandowski tracking your traffic.
You may have to go a little bit slower due to some ponding on the roadway. We're dealing with rain this morning. I know it's going to end up being a very slow commute because this rain isn't going anywhere, and to put on top of it, there are areas of construction, some emergency repairs that are going on along the 90 westbound. Now, as we get a little bit closer, this is where we've dealt with some lane restrictions that was only supposed to go through Wednesday night and into Thursday morning. So it went from 7 p.m. till 7 a.m. Well, yesterday they sent out a little advisory saying that it was going to be closed through the afternoon commute. That was causing some moderate delays coming from the Lackawanna tolls. Still, that right-hand lane is closed. They're expected to have it closed to around 6 a.m. However, we could see that, you know, depending on how things are going, end a little bit sooner. So here's the Lackawanna tolls. If you're headed westbound, not as many bright lights, so it looks like they're wrapping things up already. So that's good. Now, the 90 right at Mile Strip, by the time we get to this point, that's where the emergency repairs were coming to an end, and you can see that we're open in both directions there. So good news if you're traveling on the 90 West or even the 90 East or getting on at Hamburg. It is just a wet morning commute.
All right, Autumn, thanks so much. WWE with a toddler.
There were actually photographs also taken along with apologies, and there was talk about how we could cover up the bruising.
Yeah, this man or a man admits to trying wrestling moves on a girlfriend's 2-year-old daughter The aftermath devastating.
Had my pumping gear on and didn't have a shirt on.
Plus, a mom says a flight attendant barged in on her while she was pumping breast milk, but then the guy didn't even apologize. 5:39, you're watching 7 Eyewitness News.
In today's Tech Bites, raising funds on Facebook.
Facebook has expanded its personal fundraising feature, letting more users help friends and those in need. It's available to everyone over 18.
Ikea's smart lights will soon be a little smarter. The Swedish retailer is adding support for voice control.
The Wi-Fi enabled lighting will be compatible with Siri, Google Home, and Alexa. Voice functionality will start rolling out in the summer. And check out what some are calling the first virtual reality proposal.
So that woman there named Kate, she thought she signed up to test a VR headset. But when she took the headset off, her boyfriend Robin was there ready to pop the question. She said yes, and now they have to decide on their wedding date.
Maybe they can have a virtual reality wedding. Everyone will just put on goggles and you're there at the party.
Exactly. Our producer says it's just a high-tech blindfold, not a virtual reality proposal.
Those are your Tech Bites. Fun in art class. Come close, come close. I like that.
When your pain reliever stops working, your whole day stops.
Try this.
For minor arthritis pain, only Aleve can stop pain for up to 12 straight hours with just one pill.
Thank you.
You can't quit. Neither should your pain reliever. Stay all day strong with 12-hour Aleve.
1 or 2 or both. Because at VisionWorks, when you buy a pair of glasses, you get a second pair at no additional cost. Go to visionworks.com/deals for your coupon. It's all about helping you be a better you. VisionWorks. Shop in store or online.
Who knew that my period or sex, even soap, could throw off my pH balance?
Only Vagisil pH Balance Wash has lacto prebiotic. Use it every day to help support a healthy feminine pH. Get more from your wash. Get better intimate health. Vagisil. Get the latest weather alerts from the 7 First Alert team of meteorologists and the latest headlines from the 7 Eyewitness Newsroom by liking us on Facebook and following us on Twitter.
by request this morning. 6 a.m. director Wally is dancing in the hallways somewhere of our building this morning. Hopefully you are too. We're going to have to dance through some raindrops to start things off as we get going, and that's the view outside on Skywatch 7. Sunrise happened just moments ago. 5:43 is the official up time of the sun, but it's behind a lot of cloud cover. 57 degrees. We've got easterly breezes at 9. We just did a tour of our weather gauges, or I should say rain gauges across western New York, and we're already up and over a quarter of an inch. A third of an inch of water is already fallen, and we're only about a third of the way through the rain. So you do that math, you put 3 of those together, we're up over an inch, and there's still some steady rain to be had right around I-80. Look at how much from North Bay, Ontario, down to North Carolina, and everywhere in between is wet. Washington, Williamsport, Wellsville, all the W's up to Wilson on the shoreline of Ontario. That's where the steady stuff is coming down right now. Bradford, Olean, Coudersport, it's wet and soggy. Now, not enough to cause any flooding, but if your sump pump is active and you have an issue with it, this is one of the days you want to watch, because we'll get more than an inch of water. 58, 57, 160 down in Erie. Lake Erie holding at 56. We're not going to get any changes there. We'll top out right around 60 today. It'll likely coincide with the lightning of the rain. And not lightning, but lightening as we go from 3 to 6 o'clock. So only intermittent wipers on your way home today. Let's look at how this day unfolds. Now, about an hour and a half from now, that's when some of the steadies will continue to go through. See how the yellows dominate through 10 o'clock? After that, we start to see the yellows exit off to the north. Now, the southern tier will find lightning of the rain showers early today. It'll take a little longer if you're a little closer to the shoreline of Ontario. But as it gets to the evening hours, we never really erase the rain. We're not going to break out into sunshine, but we'll at least scatter it out, and it'll be less wet as we get to the finish line of this one. And you expect these scattered showers on Friday as well. Let me walk you through the next 7 days. There's some ups and downs. Temperature department, tomorrow stays the same, but we get a lot less water involved in that one. On Saturday, probably the drier of the 2 weekend days at this point. 70 for a high there, and we may get a little warmer on Sunday. Does not look like an all-day rain. Not a washout on Sunday, but yeah, there you go. And you know what? If you're getting up, what happens at 6:30 in the morning? There's a little walk or something that happens.
A power jog.
No, man, you got marathoners going, but everybody should be wrapping up by noon. Hopefully the rain holds off for that one. We'll drop to the 60s next week.
And we'll talk to you about that later.
Yeah, but there's not going to be time. I'm just curious if you
have
the
speak
right
with
now.
Shane, please.
But you don't.
I'm sick and tired of you guys. The last time that came here, you did the same thing.
Oh my God.
Okay, so that audio released by Ben Jacobs. He is a reporter and a writer for The Guardian. He was interviewing GOP congressional candidate Greg Gianforte in Montana's special congressional election.
Well, we've now learned that guy is facing felony assault charges. Jacobs, the reporter, claims the candidate body slammed him and broke his glasses at his campaign headquarters. Gianforte says Jacobs was behaving aggressively.
A Missouri mother and her boyfriend facing murder charges. Police say the boyfriend performed wrestling moves on a toddler. 2-year-old Addie Cook died last week from those injuries. Police say Richard Gamache admitted that he body slammed the little girl. Police say he exchanged photos and text messages with Addie's mother, and they talked about covering up the abuse. Addie's grandfather saw her just the day she was airlifted to the hospital.
I didn't get to see her till 4 in the morning. And she looked like she was in a bar fight from head to toe.
Oh my gosh.
Addie and her mother lived with that step-grandfather until they just moved in with Ganache. That was 6 days before this happened.
5:49 on a Thursday. We're protecting your family this weekend, and as the weather gets nicer, you'll be outside with both your kids and your pets.
Veterinarians, though, are warning about this bacteria that thrives in water. It could infect your dog and your whole family. Leptospirosis, or lepto, found in animal urine, and it spreads through water and rain.
The dog picks up the bacterium usually on their paws. They ingest it when they lick their feet or when they touch you, and then you touch your mouth, and it causes severe organ damage, and it can be fatal in dogs and people.
Well, signs of lepto include vomiting, extreme lethargy, being really tired, and yellow eyes and gums. Most vets do offer a vaccine against it, though. And right now in our WKBW app, a breastfeeding mom says she feels violated after United Airlines flight attendant bursts in on her. She's pumping in the plane's restroom. So this woman says somebody knocks on the door, but she ignored it. A few minutes later, there was more banging. Then somebody unlocked the door and tried to open it.
my gosh, is this really happening? Is somebody really opening the door on me while I'm in the bathroom, while I'm pumping breast milk?
The flight attendant said he was checking to make sure everything was okay, but he did not apologize. The woman then complained to United. They say crews are trained to focus on safety and security. They offered her a $200 credit.
Speaking of safety and security, Autumn Lewandowski is getting us out on the road at 5:50 on a Thursday.
Yeah, definitely keeping you safe, and you'll need some extra time, especially if you're headed out during the normal rush hour commute, because we're not only dealing with rainfall, but some moderate at times. You're going to have some ponding on roadways as well. You can see green all over the screen this morning, not only with our roadways actually up to speed, but with the rain that we have. Now, something that I also want to bring some attention to, from Ripley right to Westfield, Route 20 is going to be closed down. This is happening through August, and it goes through Route 76 to 394. So either it's North or South Portage Street, and then right to North or South State Street, depending on what side of Route 20 you're going to be on. It's a big chunk of real estate here. It's 7 miles worth of it from Ripley to Westfield, and it's going to cause some moderate headaches, I guess you can call it. The 90 right at Ripley, if you're going to be getting onto the thruway this morning, if you're going towards maybe Cleveland, or if you're headed a little further east, you're going to be dealing with rain at this point of our morning, not only near the state line, but we get a little bit closer to Westfield this morning. Here's a current look at it. You're going to be gray and wet throughout the day, widening out the view and sticking right along the 90, Route 20, Route 5 area, right up to Eden. It's all moving up to speed. Just give yourself a little bit of extra time, because I know we're going to end up needing it as we go throughout the morning.
Autumn, thank you. This is a popular beauty trend, but it could be causing more damage than good. Why you should stay away from some charcoal masks you can make at home.
Also ahead this morning, stealing your child's social media pictures. Cybersecurity experts are weighing in on web safety after one girl's picture went viral for all the wrong reasons. Parents, you can't miss this one. 5:52, you're watching 7 Eyewitness News.
In this morning's GMA First Look, some advertisers are pulling out of Sean Hannity's Fox News Channel show. The embattled host is under fire for promoting a debunked theory about the death of a former DNC staffer. On Wednesday, Cars.com and exercise bike maker Peloton both indicated they will no longer advertise on his program. In a statement, Cars.com said they had, quote, been watching closely and recently made the decision to pull our advertising. And Peloton states, quote, we directed our media agency to stop advertising on Sean Hannity's show. Despite the controversy, Hannity's ratings have seen a spike.
Hannity has been pursuing this theory that Seth Rich was actually the person who leaked DNC emails to WikiLeaks and that he was assassinated.
Investigators say there is no indication that Rich's death in 2016 is connected to his employment at the DNC. And we'll have more on this coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Diane Macedo, ABC News, New York.
Every day we are called to duty, ambushed, outflanked, and surrounded. What if there was a place to declare peace? The all-new Serta Perfect Sleeper, the most comfortable place to declare peace.
My trainer didn't believe me that Trop 50 could taste so good and still have 50% fewer calories.
Can I stop, Jane?
No. Trop 50 tastes so good you won't believe it has 50% fewer calories.
When it comes to heartburn, trust the brand doctors trust. Nexium 24-Hour is the #1 choice of doctors and pharmacists for their own frequent heartburn. For all day and all night protection, banish the burn with Nexium 24-Hour.
We asked members to show us how it feels to lose weight on Weight Watchers.
It feels so good.
Members have lost 15% more weight in the first 2 months than on our prior program. Join for free and lose 10 pounds on us.
5:56 on a Thursday morning. An Arizona teenager left a mess for someone else to clean up. And now this girl has days of cleaning for others ahead of her.
After the 10-year-old vandalized a school bathroom, her mom put out a call to action on Facebook. She volunteered this teen to do some community service.
My sweet daughter decided to participate in vandalism of the girls' bathroom on the last day of school. If anyone owns a business and needs or wants a 10-year-old volunteer, please let me know.
Well, there are plenty of suggestions in the comment section of the community Facebook page. A lot of commenters said they hope the teen's punishment would be able to help someone in need.
Right. Mom's like, sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. All right. If you have teenage kids, they might be trying this online beauty trend. We're talking about charcoal masks that you buy overseas and you mix them with glue.
Yeah. Have you seen that video on Facebook with the girl peeling it off her face? It looks like it hurts.
Yeah. She's like screaming while she does it. Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Now skincare experts are saying these masks are dangerous. When the masks are removed, they can damage layers of your skin and in some cases even cause scarring.
So if you're doing this on your face to look better, you're definitely not barking up the right tree.
Oh, okay. Watch what happens. It gets stuck here. She pulls it off. She yanks it. And then it looks like it hurts a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
does not
experts say charcoal is useful internally for curing bad reactions to drugs or alcohol, but there's no benefit for your skin, according to these doctors. Here's the thing, though. These products teens are buying come from out of the country, which means that they are not regulated by the FDA.
Pretty interesting reactions there. Cybersecurity experts say you might want to take a good look at the security settings on your kids' social media profiles. Our Scripps sister station in Cleveland is reporting someone used a teenager's photos to make fake posts about this week's Manchester bombing.
We have gotten Chloe back. She is back at home, safe and sound in her pajamas. Thank you so much for all the support tonight.
But that's not Chloe. It's Jordan, sitting in her Northeast Ohio home, thousands of miles away from Monday's concert chaos.
Waking up to Chloe's door breaks my heart all over again.
Jordan's private Instagram pictures ended up on this fake Twitter account. Someone posing as the relative of a missing girl at Monday's ill-fated Ariana Grande concert.
I feel like maybe some people are like dying for attention and they want to be like on TV or something.
And it worked.
I mean, that's just creepy.
Jordan's dad, Kelly, who doesn't want to use his last name, first noticed the hoax watching Good Morning America.
One mother saying this morning she is relieved to have her daughter back home.
What do you even search to find a particular girl that I don't even know what anyone looks for to find those parameters that you want to create this fake news, if you will.
The cybersecurity experts at Cleveland-based Trusted Sec say it's a good reminder to talk with your kids about online security. They say make your profile private. Be careful who you're adding as a friend and report accounts you think might be fake.
Honestly, if anyone can do this, imagine what they could do with a picture on the dark web.
The profile using Jordan's pics has already been taken down, but not before hundreds of retweets.
What about the people that really did need help and were missing?
Happening right now on 7 Eyewitness News, a historic restaurant in Chautauqua County closed for one of the busiest holiday weekends after fire rips through the building.
And new details this morning since 11 o'clock last night after a deadly motorcycle crash in Buffalo.
From inside the ambulance to inside dispatch, we are still here with Twin City Ambulance. It's EMS Week 2017, and we're taking you behind the scenes next.
And at the top of the hour, this is breaking overnight at the live desk. An historic restaurant in Chautauqua County is closed after fire ripped through the back of the building. Let's take it full, show you what it looked like when our breaking news photographer was there overnight. Firefighters were called to Ye Hare and Hounds Inn on Lakeside Drive in Bemis Point about 8 o'clock last night. Fires spread from the kitchen to the second floor. There were people inside this restaurant, including the owners, but they were all able to get out. This restaurant has been around since the early 1900s.
Here for many years. It's a classic. The upstairs and the kitchen area was heavily damaged. A lot of smoke and water damage.
Yeah, this restaurant, a classic down in Chautauqua County. The fire chief said the restaurant will likely be closed through the long holiday weekend. No one here was hurt.
All right, it is 6 o'clock on your Thursday morning. Gonna get you out the door this morning. It is a wet one to start your day.
You know, we've been watching people dodge the raindrops on the camera this morning, kind of sliding through some of the side streets to get to work. Every now and again, we got the umbrella crossing through. This is about the time we see people begin to arrive in downtown Buffalo. Certainly, it's going to be a wet commute. Autumn will cover that, and as we watch the streets there in the city, a lot of spray coming off the roads. We just saw one guy kind of double time it right through the intersection to get been there. Bring the umbrella so you don't have to be that guy, folks, because it's going to keep going all day today. There you can see the water. I mean, we are right in the path of all of this, and this is the stuff that's going to be the heavies. It's in central Pennsylvania now. There's more of it through the morning, so this is not something that's going to lighten up. We've already got more than 1/3 of an inch of water in most of the rain gauges in western New York, with more on the way, and that's going to continue through the afternoon. Not exactly cold. We'll call it a cool 57 this morning, and some of the low end of the 50s down there. Let's look at the rain. This is kind of how it looks this morning. Tough to even brighten the skies outside. Daytime highs going to hold right around 60, and that probably won't get back there until later today. It's going to be a wet one. You're not going outside for lunch today. We'll just tell you that right now. By the time we get to 3, 4, 5 o'clock, I don't think you're going to get a softball game in, but you won't need the wipers going especially heavy tonight as it scatters out through the evening hours. Now, it looks like we're in for a drier but cool day tomorrow. And then some good news for the weekend. Everybody likes that. I'll have it for you straight ahead.
Andy, thank you. Happening today, a man accused of seriously hurting 3 people while driving drunk New Year's Day set to be in court. Police say Abdi Kadir Jafar hit another car, veered off the road, then hit a pole. They say he kept going, slamming into 3 people who were standing nearby. They were critically hurt. One was a City Honors student who lost a leg in the crash. This happened on Richmond Avenue. Jafar pleaded not guilty to those charges in January. A Rochester man who admitted to beating his mother to death inside her South Buffalo home going to be sentenced today. His name is Froilan Torres. He pleaded guilty to killing his mother, Gloria Rivera, after he hit her over the head with a vase. Rivera was taken to the hospital where she later died. Torres is going to be in court today at 2.
6:03 on a Thursday. New details this morning about a deadly motorcycle crash in Buffalo's Riverside neighborhood. And new since 11, we've learned the driver was a man in his 20s. He died in the crash just before 8 o'clock last night at Condon and Resch Avenues. Police believe the man was hit an SUV and was declared dead at the scene. The driver of the SUV was not seriously hurt.
And at 6:03, I want to take you live right now to Great Britain, where nationwide communities are holding a moment of silence for those victims of the Manchester bombing and their families. Let's take a look. And that investigation into the Manchester bombing now spans 2 continents. We've learned police in the UK continued their raids early into the morning, even conducting a controlled explosion. Police have arrested 7 people who they believe have connections to the suspected suicide bomber, Salman Abdi. We've now learned that Abdi and his brother were in Libya just a few days before that attack. Authorities now trying to figure out whether they met with ISIS or Al-Qaeda operatives or they got terror training abroad.
He certainly might have had the opportunity in Libya to connect with a terrorist group. ISIS has a presence in Libya, Al-Qaeda has a presence in Libya, other jihadi groups.
Police are now detaining Abedi's family members in Libya. Investigators also say his brother admitted they were members of ISIS during the interrogation. They believe this brother was planning another terror attack.
6:04, President Trump continues his tour of Europe this morning. He's at the European Union headquarters in Brussels, Belgium this morning, participating in bilateral meetings with EU leaders today. The president will also meet newly elected French President Emmanuel Macron for a working lunch. From there, the president will visit NATO headquarters, unveiling 2 new memorials before having a working dinner with NATO leaders.
And this morning, former President Obama meeting with German Chancellor Angela Merkel in Berlin. Obama is creating a worldwide program that he's hoping will inspire young people to create change. This is the program's first event. An aide says Obama has no plans to discuss President Trump or politics while he's visiting Germany.
The state is ready to clean up the old Tonawanda Coke site, but neighbors say they're concerned about how that cleanup will affect their health. The state is planning to dig up and burn hazardous materials like cyanide and benzene. Starting in June, we know benzene is a cancer-causing chemical. This afternoon, a group called Clean Air will ask the state DEC commissioner to delay cleanup until neighbors can actually weigh in at a public hearing.
6:05, Erie County officials looking to crack down on car break-ins. There have been almost 4,000 in Buffalo over the past couple years. Fewer than 200 of them ended in an arrest. Now lawmakers want prosecutors to have the ability to pursue car break-ins as felony burglaries. We spoke with Trooper O'Callahan from the state police on Facebook, telling us how you can protect yourself from a car break-in. You can find out more. It's right in the video section of our Facebook page. Just go there and click on that tab. And we are honoring first responders this morning as EMS Week continues.
These are the people who keep us safe in times of emergencies. Our 7 Eyewitness News reporter Liz Lewin live for us in Amherst now with Twin City Ambulance.
Well, Ed and Katie, safety starts with training and education. I'm here with Sean Husman. He's the Director of Education here at Twin City. Sean, one major thing that you teach all of your incoming EMTs and paramedics is this technique, Stop the Bleed. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, Stop the Bleed is a national campaign, and basically what it's designed to do is to teach both EMTs and lay people how to stop bleeding in an emergency situation.
And so what do we have in front of me? It looks like a very compact kit of important things.
This is a custom kit that we'll be carrying, but it's a bunch of different items that we would use to stop bleeding. What you would see here is a pressure dressing. This is a dressing we would use to put pressure onto a wound when we have some bleeding going on there. We have a tourniquet, which I'm sure everyone's heard of before, and we'll talk about that one. We've got some hemostatic gauze. This is actually a gauze that we use that has stuff attached to it, chemicals attached to it, that when we put into a wound will stop bleeding, will actually cause clotting to happen faster. We have a chest seal. In the case of a chest injury, like a gunshot wound, this will cover up that chest wound and hopefully increase the breathing capacity for our patients. And we also have a big needle, which are fun. This is a chest decompression needle. In a lot of cases, we have to actually take air out of a chest when there's an injury, so we put these needles into the person's chest. And as dangerous as it looks, it actually will save lives.
All right, well, you guys are going to see it being performed next. We've got this nice little dummy that we use here in education, and Sean's going to show me, at least, how to stop the bleed. So I guess I can leave here feeling a little more informed and safe. We are here at Twin City Ambulance. I'll send it back to you guys.
Wow, unbelievable.
Oh, I got chills seeing that needle.
I know, yeah. He goes in, here we have a big needle.
Right.
Yeah.
Hello. Well, you know what? It's all to save lives, though, so they do the hardest work, and
yeah,
it's really
sure.
yeoman's effort.
And we'll see how it's used coming up. All right, let's get you out the door this morning. Autumn Lewandowski tracking your traffic.
You're going to need the umbrella. Those that are going to be on the roadways using the wipers quite a bit. As we take a look at our roadways, everything is moving the way that it should be. Probably a couple of miles per hour below because of how much in the way of, is she okay? Everything's good. Be mindful that you're just going to need a little extra time because of how much rain is coming down through the day today. Not only now, but through the morning rush hour commute and then for our lunch hour as well. Now, yesterday, this did shut down. The 190 North at Elm Street exit did close right around 9 a.m. and that caused some delays there. It is supposed to close again today at 9 a.m. to noon. I think because of the rain, that just might not happen. But if it does, just be mindful of that you'll have to go to Niagara Street or even Church Street. Here's a current look at the Hamburg exit. Not a bad way to come into downtown Buffalo now.
Okay, Autumn, thanks. A lot of people heading to the gym, getting their beach body, but working out too much, Ed, can actually be bad for your health. And we're going to tell you why straight ahead.
Looking forward to that one.
And before you take a dip in the pool this summer, there's a pesky parasite that's on the rise you should know about.
Also this morning, do you ever feel like you go to the grocery store for one thing, but then walk out with a ton more?
Yep.
No coincidence here. We'll tell you why coming up so you don't waste your money.
Nobody's going in the pool today. All that green means it's going to be a soaker of a Thursday. I've got your 7 First Alert forecast. We'll have it for you when we come back after this short break. See you then.
You're watching 7 Eyewitness News. Let's bring you up to speed.
At 6:12 on your Thursday morning, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders unveiling a new bill today that would bring a higher minimum wage nationwide. The Raise the Wage Act would incrementally increase minimum wage from $7.25 an hour to $15. Sanders hoping to raise it a little at a time until 2024. Today, we're expecting to see a push for funding to fight the opioid epidemic. Legislator Patrick Burke in Erie County pushing the county to pass a $1 million funding proposal. That proposal will be presented today when the county legislature meets at Old County Hall in Buffalo. And today, those in favor of removing the Grand Island toll barrier is going to host an educational environmental health summit. The presentation is going to discuss air pollution and its effects on neighbors' health. The summit starts at 6.
Looking outside as we check things out, it is a wet start to the day today. And as we go to the bus stop, you're going to need the umbrellas or at least those yellow rain slickers this morning. Giving it a C-, 55. We don't move much in the afternoon. And it looks like the rain continues for the bus ride home and high near 60 today.
All right, 6:14 on a Thursday morning. Remember this girl, the one who was pulled in the water by the sea lion?
Ooh.
Right. Scary video. The guy jumps in right after, presumably her father, to rescue the girl. Turns out, though, she's now getting medical treatment because she might have been infected by a dangerous bacteria from that sea lion's mouth. Ooh. It's a rare infection called seal finger, and if it's left untreated, it could lead to amputation of fingers or even limbs. Hoping for the best for this girl.
Have you ever wondered why you spend so much money every time you go into the grocery store? You walk by tons of things just to get one item that you're actually looking for.
Right, I'm like, oh, let's go down the stationery aisle. Let's go down the milk and bread aisle.
Exactly.
Let's buy things I don't need. Consumer reporter John Matarese gets answers looking into grocery store secrets that get you to spend more so you don't waste your money.
Ever notice that when you go into the grocery store to buy milk and bread, you end up spending $40 on things you really didn't need? It's all designed that way, thanks to some supermarket tricks that you need to know about.
Produce in the front, milk in the back, candy at the checkout. It's all designed to get you to spend more time and money. Busy mom Christy Neal says it's tough to keep her kids from the sugary treats. And it works, according to nutritionist Lauren Nemes. So with Lauren's help, we found some grocery store secrets that get you to spend more. See that colorful produce up front? It puts you in a happy shopping mood. Now, notice those end cap displays? Lauren says they're for products that paid for promotion.
When it comes to getting you to buy certain items, it's all about the placement, including putting kids' items where the kids are gonna find them.
Which brings us to the checkout lane, stocked with sweets for kids to demand. Lauren's tip, if you must have it, candy is much cheaper in the aisles. Speaking of cheaper, here's another secret. Pre-sliced cheese in the milk section can be half the price of freshly cut cheese at the deli counter. And did you ever wonder why there are now so many flavors of Oreos and Cheerios? It's to help them dominate the shelf space, which means you won't even see smaller brands. But knowing their secrets will help you be a better shopper.
One last secret. Do you ever decide to put something back at the last minute? Well, some stores are removing flat shelves in the checkout lane, making it tougher for you to leave stuff. As always, don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese, 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, John, thanks for protecting your family this morning. Parents, as your kids get ready for their first cannonball into the pool, there was a warning about a potentially dangerous parasite lurking in the water.
This virus could be deadly, so how do you stop it from spreading? 7 Eyewitness News reporter Tweelan Nugent here now with us. Tweelan, what's the answer here?
Yeah, now one of the best ways here to get out and beat the heat is the pool, but not if that pesky parasite is on the rise. It's called crypto. It isn't deadly to healthy people, but it can be a severe inconvenience. But for people who are immunocompromised, it could actually be deadly. Cryptosporidium is the most common disease spread through swimming pools. The parasite can cause stomach cramps, diarrhea, vomiting, and fever. Those symptoms can last 1 to 2 weeks at a time, and it usually goes away on its own. You get it by ingesting infected water. Now, what's tough about preventing the spread is that crypto can live up to 10 days, even in properly treated water.
The challenge with crypto is that it's a pretty hardy organism, so it can live in properly chlorinated pools. And to try to get rid of the crypto in standard swimming pools, you need to raise the chlorine level to a point where it would be harmful to kids.
Now, make sure you and your kids shower before and after swimming anywhere. Avoid swallowing any water while you're in it. And now anyone infected with crypto should stay out of pools for at least 2 weeks after your symptoms go away. Coming up, we're going to give you some more summer safety tips. I'm Twila Nugent, 7 Eyewitness News.
That is so nasty.
Right? Well, you like to think that the chemicals are there to keep you protected, and then
more chlorine means less bacteria, so you thought, not in crypto's case. Twila, thank you very much. Right? I know.
Makes you want to go swimming. Pool's open today, right?
It's like the crypto night.
Mother Nature's got her own shower going on.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I know. Let's go take a look. We've got the camera zoomed in. Let's find any umbrellas out there. Nobody's lingering in the street today. They're all going like real quick. And the people without the umbrellas are like walking double time, cutting across the lawn, doing all that. People with the umbrellas are just kind of easing their way in. So be that guy. Be the guy with the umbrella today. Don't be the guy that's got to kind of run across the lawn. Let's go ahead and see what we have outside this morning on the 7 Super Doppler. Boy, oh boy, I mean, it's wet from New York City. If you are flying today, it's not enough to cancel flights, but it is going to be enough to back stuff up. Anytime there's water of any significance in along the conglomerate here from Philly all the way up through New York, not quite Boston, that will slow things down at the gates. And also, if you're driving today, boy, anywhere south, this right here is about to jump into Chautauqua County. That's going to raise the level of the rain coming down here in Jamestown, and it's not that far away. What do we got right now? Hit me with a time. 6:18. So this is probably looking at about 7 o'clock arrival there in Jamestown. So you're going to find an uptick. Look at the water that's already fallen. We're inching up our way to about a ½ inch of water so far. We're going to see more. Now it was 67 at midnight, and we've dropped now to 57 degrees. That's where we stay right now. So everybody starts off at about the same spot this morning. Best we're going to do today is about 60 degrees. Most of the rain falls before 3 o'clock. Then it lightens up, and we'll just use intermittent wipers on the way home. So here's that rain, okay? It makes its way through Jamestown up to Buffalo in the 7 o'clock hour and continues to overspread the region. Then once we get to 12 o'clock, you folks in Jamestown start to see things lighten up, and you say, okay, bring the umbrellas down for a little bit. We scatter the activity this afternoon, so we never really shut it down, but it's going to be a lot less wet from 3 to 6 than it is noon to 3 today. And then as we move into the evening hours, we kind of keep that same trend. Cloudy, cool, and wet all the way to the end of the day. That's a theme for tomorrow. We'll call it cool and damp. Not exactly a rain out tomorrow, not at all, but there will be scattered showers. Saturday looking pretty good. We're back to 70 degrees, maybe dry out a little bit in the afternoon. Then comes Sunday. Still some question marks here. I wish I could break down this through a time period, but it does look like the afternoon hours offering up the ability to bring in some showers. Not a washout. So if you get outdoor plans, don't sweat it just yet. Temperatures holding in the 70s there. We drop back to the 60s early next week, guys.
Okay, yeah, well, with Memorial Day right around the corner, a lot of us getting ready to travel. What's the most popular way, do you think, to get to your destination? Plane, train, automobile? We're going to take a look straight ahead.
Popular. Going to the gym is a part of a daily routine for many of us, but while it can be good for your health, too much could actually hurt you. We'll tell you why coming up. At 6:21, you're watching 7 Eyewitness News on a Thursday.
Here we are, 6:23, and as we get you out the door, it is a wet morning commute. You're probably going to need some extra time, especially as we go from that 7 to around 8:30 hour. Now, we're talking about Memorial Day coming up in West Seneca. Union Road is going to be closed from Legion Parkway right to Willowdale. That is from 10 until 12 on Memorial Day. So expect some moderate delays. Union Road is a very heavily traveled area, especially on Memorial Day.
All right, Adam, thanks. And there's just a day before the Memorial Day holiday.
But if you plan to travel, be ready to share the road. AAA projects nearly 40 million people will travel this year. And despite seeing the highest gas prices in 2 years, 88% of us are going to be driving. Another 3 million will be flying to get to our final destinations.
Okay, moms and dads, check your child's car seat this morning. Graco now recalling the harness restraints on more than 25,000 My Ride 65 convertible child seats. You see them right here. They might not safely restrain your children during a car crash. So far, no injuries were reported from this defect. Graco's going to replace those harness restraints, and that's for free.
If you're living in constant pain, light could wind up helping you. Researchers say concentrated green lights could help your body produce more natural painkillers. Researchers also say green light could help those struggling with opioid addiction and could serve as a medication-free form of therapy. 6:25, everyone knows exercise is good for you, but if you do it obsessively, it could be a sign of a bigger problem.
Well, researchers say too much exercise could lead to addiction. Exercise addicts can suffer from dehydration, anemia. They can even damage their immune systems. The symptoms include exercising several times a day, joining a number of gyms, and then exercising through illness or injuries.
Once is enough for me.
Yeah, right? Thank you very much. Rising floodwaters making life really hard for some people in Lancaster. Local leaders are now working to fix this issue for homeowners who are right near Ellicott Creek.
And we'll take you live to Amherst this morning, saying thank you to first responders who help us in times of need. We're checking in with Liz Lewin coming up in just a minute.
From some Lancaster floodwaters to Lake Ontario, we're watching the water levels today with the wind, and the folks along Lake Ontario don't want to miss the forecast. You don't want to miss it either. You're going to need the umbrella. I've got it live on the weather outside. We'll be right back.
Bottom of the hour on a Thursday morning. This is happening right now in Manchester, England. A bomb squad on the scene of some sort of investigation. We're getting new details into the live desk. We'll take you there straight ahead.
Neighbors in Lancaster fed up with flooding. Local leaders now think they might have a solution.
Western New York is going to get wet today, no two ways about it. But what about your weekend? We'll talk about that live on the Weather Outside.
We're continuing to recognize EMS Week here at Twin City Ambulance. Education and training, a major part of the program here. Coming up next, we'll show you how to stop the bleed, something all EMTs here need to know.
You're watching 7 Eyewitness News with Andy Parker, Katie Morse, Ed Dranch, and Autumn Lewandowski.
Hi everyone, good morning to you. It's 6:30 on a Thursday. Thanks for being with us here on 7 Eyewitness News. Hey, if you got a leaky roof or a leaky basement, today is not your day, right? It's raining a lot outside, Andy.
That it is, although I will tell you this is 100 times better than standing here with that wind driving snow into your face and a wind chill. This is pretty easy going. We're in the 50s right now. Yeah, the umbrella is necessary today, folks. Let's take a look at the shoreline of Ontario. I've got some bad news for you, and it's not the rain that's going to be the issue. A lot of people equate this every time it rains. Oh, poor Lake Ontario. Lake Ontario is high. It's the wind that the folks along the shoreline don't like, and it's a northeasterly breeze, and that means that anywhere from Niagara on the lake all the way over to sections of Orleans County, and Rochester, you're included in that as well. Here's the deal. This morning, the winds are pretty polite, but this afternoon, all of a sudden, they're up around 20, 25 miles an hour out of the northeast. So Wilson, Youngstown, Fort Niagara, the seawall going to get beat up again today. So if you've got property bordering Lake Ontario, you can expect to deal with a prolonged period of erosion today. Look at the wind speed staying above 15 miles an hour out of the northeast, one of the worst wind directions you can get to find those waves stealing your shoreline. Let's look at downtown Buffalo. Looks great for the trees. They're greening up. They'll get a nice drink of water today, already coming up on a ½ inch of water, and there's more on the way, folks. Look at the yellows and oranges over Pennsylvania. They're about to make their move. Bradford, you're going to get wet if you're not there. Right? Let's see Bradford just in the last hour. Not the uptick yet, but boy, it's on your doorstep, and it's coming to Jamestown and Olean in short order. No matter where you are in Western New York today, those are the gray skies coming our way, and it's going to be a cool 60. I mentioned the weekend. It's going to be 60 with scattered showers, but some dry time on Friday. We may not need the umbrellas on Saturday. That's turning out to be a pretty good-looking first half of the weekend. We'll check the second half and the third half, because it's a 3-day weekend. We've got it all coming for you when I'm joining you back indoors.
Okay, Andy, thanks. And it's 6:31 on your Thursday morning. Neighbors in Niagara and Orleans counties dealing with that rising water. Sandbags have been lining the area, but they are no match to recent flooding issues around Lake Ontario, and it's causing major damage. Fort Niagara has been quickly losing more shoreline. The Army Corps of Engineers confirmed the Fort Seawall Foundation has been damaged by these waters. And then Lancaster dealing with its own flooding issues this morning. Neighbors who live along Ellicott Creek say they're regularly bailing out their basements, so now they're teaming up with state and federal leaders trying to figure out a plan to stop rising waters. They're looking into replacing a bridge where sediments back up near Stony Road, and they're also hoping to remove a couple of log jams on the creek.
It may not eliminate all flooding in the future, but there's a very good chance that these are going to reduce the frequency and the volume of flooding once they are addressed.
Now, the Erie County Legislature might vote on replacing that Stony Road Bridge as soon as next week, but it's not clear if neighbors would actually see that replacement this year.
Okay, 6:33 on a Thursday morning. This is breaking right now in Manchester. We're now learning that 8 suspects have been arrested in totality after this week's bombing at the Ariana Grande concert in Manchester, England. Separate from that investigation right now, we're also learning that an Army bomb disposal team is responding to an incident on a street